I wanted to check in exactly 1 week from Election Day. Can you believe it's November 10th, 2020? Biggest election in history, and we're checking in almost to the hour. A week ago, this debacle began to unfold. And I encourage you to stay positive, stay focused, stay engaged, and remember now is not the time to be bitter or mopey. And for goodness sake, we are not the people that are violent. So let's stay focused, and I'll try to give you an update because the news media is failing all of us. Now, I want to give you some sources right off the bat. Oh, sorry, my microphone fell off. And I didn't shave either because I know that things are happening so quickly that by the time I remove this facial hair, I will have missed out on another election development, and I don't want to do that. So I actually skipped hygiene. My microphone keeps on. You can tell it's the morning. Ken Matthews in the morning. You can tell that. Oh! Let me give you some alternate sources. Talk radio, live talk radio, live talk radio, the last place you're going to get analysis and truth and interaction with people. Everything else is prepackaged. Everything else is banned or censored. Just flip on any news station and you're going to hear the same crap about Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, and there's panels and there's parties and everything else. And my favorite part of the dance party in Philadelphia was everybody, rubbing up against each other without a mask in the middle of the COVID. Here's some more great sources before I give you a quick update from the Ken Matthews Media Studio in the Battleground state of Pennsylvania. Newsmax, the Epic Times, Band.video, Breitbart, the American Thinker. All this stuff is chock full of information that you just don't hear in the national news media because they're busy covering for Joe Biden and doing what they do best. Trash a very good president. Some people think great, Donald J. Trump. Think about the things that you didn't know about Donald Trump and the good things, and think about all the bad things that the media has been hiding in 2020. This is why I say the media is done. They're useless. We know pollsters are useless, but listen to this. Think of 2020, just briefly. Did you get the information you need? Did you get the evidence? Oh, sorry, my back. I just got up. Did you get the evidence and information you need on Hunter Biden, Joe Biden, Ukraine Biden, Biden China, Russia Biden, Hillary Russia, Obama Ukraine? Of course not. Of course not. It was all covered up. Just like the Hunter Biden hard drive. All that stuff was covered up. It was spun. And then after all those people tried to frame President Donald J. Trump in a soft coup built on a dossier purchased by Hillary Clinton's campaign, after the Obama administration surveilled Trump illegally as an American citizen and then as a president and a president-elect, all those people exposed by the Mueller report, they're all running around doing book deals. President Donald J. Trump was exonerated. What does the media do? They hire the criminals, some of whom framed him. They hire the criminals and they keep trashing Trump. This is why the news media is no longer, they've never been your friend, but now it's obvious because we need information now more than any other time in American history. What about Jeffrey Epstein? I'm just throwing that out there as an excuse. The news media never covered it. Not an excuse, an example, excuse me. The news media never covered Jeffrey Epstein. Who was on the plane? Who was on the island? Who was on Bill Clinton? Will we ever know? Probably not. The media's got too much to lose. And plus they have to focus on Trump. They need to get Trump out of there. They've got to protect Joe Biden. They got to run out the clock. Time is of the essence. What about COVID? Did the news media cover COVID so we were informed? No. No, they didn't. They hyped COVID. We never got real COVID cases. We never got real COVID death numbers. We never got real anything with COVID. And when we had questions or there was debate, social media and the news media banned us. Think about that. We were censored. We were banned. All we had were questions about family or kids or our health. It's ridiculous. The news media is probably the biggest culprit in this cluster that we call 2020, getting schools shut down. the economy shut down. And with the help of the Democrat governors, it was all staged and timelined out to line up with the election, which I believe was stolen. Full disclosure, I think the election was stolen. Let's go back very, very quickly to a few more things that the news media didn't cover. That's why I don't watch and don't follow the news media anymore. It's ridiculous. You've got to find other sources. It's up to you. You have to find other sources. If you hear something, check it, verify it, source it. Unfortunately, that's the position social media and the news media has put the American people in. We have all been so either underinformed or misinformed with these narratives that most people don't know the difference between fact or fiction. The news media doesn't. We don't know the real BLM, who's behind it. We never learned about how Antifa came about, who's behind it, who's paying for it. We still haven't had a vetting of Kamala Harris or Joe Biden. They haven't vetted those two candidates yet, which is absurd. So right now we have election outcomes unclear among pending recounts and legal challenges in Arizona, Nevada, Georgia, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, my home state where KenMatthewsMedia.com is located, Michigan, and Wisconsin. And what's the media doing? They're talking about Joe Biden's COVID task force. See, they are treating Joe Biden like they treated COVID. You know how COVID cases were presumed cases, probable cases, predicted cases, cases in the model. That's what Joe Biden is. He's a presumed something. He's a probable pretend president-elect. In the models we did, in the models you did, Hillary was supposed to win the first time she ran of the 8 times she ran. So the news media and pollsters have no credibility. There are places you could go. You can go on any of my social media, and I share a lot of things before they're banned or censored. I want to point out something very quickly before we wrap up. The software used in Michigan, it's called Dominion. Excuse me. Still morning for me now. The software in Michigan is called Dominion. The one, the case you heard, well, you probably haven't heard it enough, but it switched 6,000 votes from President Donald J. Trump to Joe Biden. You know how many states use that now? 30. 30 states use that software. All the swing states use that software. The reason I bring it up to you is because 4 years ago, the Epic Times did a big story on how Soros is invested in Smartmatic, which owns the software, and voting machines in 16 states at the time were called out, and there were concerns being raised over the ties between George Soros, Smartmatic, and his deep ties to Hillary Clinton. And a lot of people were concerned then that not only were the employees not vetted substantially to be in that environment where they can have control of our votes and glitch them in any direction they want, people were also concerned that this was an open door to steal an election. And I guess we're finding out now. So this has all been out there. It's the news media that hasn't told us about it. They've dropped the ball on it. This has all been out there, but the news media is very careful not to upset the left, the Democrats, etc. And this is a real problem. So stay informed, stay positive, stay engaged, stay focused. This is not the time to be mopey, bitter, or violent. Not the time. What the time is now is to be more informed than you ever have been. Find the sources, question, research, and document. I'm Ken Matthews from Ken Matthews Media in the Battleground state of PA. We'll talk soon.